Hello guys, we are back for another video today. I just want to talk a little bit about my first impression for the new band list and just give you some ideas for the next format. I guess it will not change that much because still Fire is one of the best deck and maybe still tier 0, but maybe we have some options to just break the thing and just build really good tier 1 decks, which is really strong as well, and just maybe beat the fire decks more often because they have now more counterplays with talents and evenly and maybe other things so that you can still play through the deck because there are no any more Omni negates, and maybe also Nibiru is a good counter, maybe it is the strongest well. First to understand which this lists, it's looking a bit weird at the moment, but I will explain how it works so that you can first or just fast understand. I want to make my ideas and show my ideas to you and just keep in mind and keep in my head what decks are really good for the next format, for nationals, and maybe for the next YCSs. First of all, there you in the side deck you will find the changes from the list. I will go to the important things from the list. There's no title really, and I guess there's also missing one or two other cards, but they are not so important so that we do not have to talk a lot about them. So I just cut them down and just want to focus on the cards which are really good and are really relevant for the next format, and so we will just talk about them. And here are cool ideas and deck types which are really good for the next format, and also here some other important extra deck cards which I have to talk to you. And these two last two cards, as I said, they are two really good counter cards, and I also have to add normally Nibiru, but I just want to talk about Nibiru because I want to have this as a clean 20 and I like clean cards or clean things, so this is better for me. This is the monk thing in my head. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the side deck, the changes from the banned list. The first four cards are just banned: is Linkeribo, Salvage Dragon, Baron, and Summon Limit. First of all, this is really important to know. These two cards was important for Dragon for Snake and also on, but for a lot of rogue decks as well, and yes, now, or for other synchro decks I should say, and now they lose a lot of things in the end board, and this is good still, I think, because now cards like Talents and Evenly are really better, and also Lightning Storm. So in the end, I guess going second is now a little bit better. It's not better than going first still, but it's a little bit better now that you will not have auto lose directly. And also that summon limit is gone really good as well, because most of the time now was a little bit like a hand trip war, and still if your opponent ends with a short field and they flip summon and you can't play, you will not come into the game and still lose. That is kind of a really thing. And this is really good now that summon limit is gone. Also, Linkeribo is kind of a cool thing because now you have still more interactions with the Snake Eye, because when you make a Linkeribo you are protected for Whaler, or you can dodge Whaler and Imperm, but now that's not possible anymore. And also this was kind of an engine piece to go directly to a Link 1 and just put the Poplar into the Monster Sound down, so you can send it directly with the Ash and have one more card on the field. Maybe you play Anima and can go in Anima then, but I believe more that you play Anima for the Nibiru token, because the most players will now play Nibiru, and then you just one step ahead and just get a Nibiru token so that you will remove it directly from the field. That's possible. I am not sure how strong and important Anima still is, because if you make Anima and then you make the whole combo down as in the past, I feel Anima is really wasted. And I don't like to waste cards like this and just play it as just play it there to just waste it. I like to get the most things from cards, and that's only possible if you get something from the Anima. Of course, you will still play Anima because the Nibiru thing, but I'm still not sure this is the right way to go. But we will see in the future. I don't want to talk much about Snake Eye. I have made another video. I hope you checked it out. It was just from Sunday. There I told to you and showed you my Kashtira Snake Eye, which I played at the last regional, and I have my first impressions for the new band list. But I don't want to talk much about Snake Eye anymore. I just want to. This is the first thing I just want to talk about the band cards. We go now to the limit cards, and then we go there to cards like, or just decks which will help them really, so that you have some cool ideas for the next future events. Protoss. Protoss in my head is a card which is really scary. In this, it could be really scary. I know the most decks are not so relevant, just only from their attributes. So of course the most decks will have one or two attributes, which is important, a part of the deck, but you still can play. And also Protoss, you can still Whaler or just negate it with any hand-traps. So Protoss is not that strong. But one thing we keep in mind when we think of Protoss, that we have Small World. And Small World can most of the time bridge into Protoss. Just also with the Snake Eye engine, you have a lot of things to bridge into Protoss. Maybe just the Abelstar, just other things like there's nothing really, but just the Abelstar, maybe some other darks you want to play in the future. You can, I don't know. You can go with no, you can't go with Luperian. I don't know. I guess there are a lot of things you can do it. In my head, I did not bridge all, or I did not play all small world bridges directly, so I just want to say it's possible. You will find some good bridges if you think a lot about it, or just think a few hours about it. There's also a link in the description below where you can find really good bridges. I put it there so that you can look up this and just look, okay, which bridges are possible for Protoss, and that is a thing so that you can search it really. Also, you can search it in the Sportsal deck, but I have to say Sportsal a lot of things because you lost directly the Baron, so you can't play against Nibiru really anymore. Of course, there is still a line with Baxia and the other, I don't know the name really, but I guess you know what I mean, Baxia with the level 1 going to level 9, and then you are protected for light. But this is not a really good thing, and Sportsal have no chance really. Also, the Crying Giver Sportsal is not so strong. I played a little bit in Master Duels, so I can talk. If Protoss works, it's still a good option. But even if you get through to Protoss and activate the effect, if you want to save fire, you have to destroy a good fire monster on your board, because you can't end with a Baron really. So you have to end with the other Synchro 10, and this is fire of course, but this is then lose the field, and this was still a good interruption. Maybe you can special some other fire monster and just I don't know, make chaining and also on, and then activate the effect, but still any hand trap will just destroy it. And also Nibiru will come in clutch, because you can't do anything against Nibiru anymore, so this is kind of a good thing. Okay, let's look about other things which we have here. This is Colossus. Colossus is also a thing, and in my head when I think about Colossus, of course I think over the Thunder Rings, but I believe Thunder Ring alone is not strong enough. But maybe you can pair it up with some Telement cards, so that you make a big pile of a deck with Telements and just Thunder Dragons and maybe other engines as well, so that work together. Maybe you have the dangers, this work together, so that you have some cool bridges and just build crazy boards with Colossus and maybe other things. And also you can play the Horus engine, so that you can just discard the bricks of the Thunder Dragons to just special summon, or just put the Horus cards in the graveyard, just special summon later on, and then banish them to get the effects going through, to go to Thunder Dragon, Colossus and also on. In my head, that's not so bad and maybe could build crazy ant boards, but you still will lose against Nibiru. You can't really play around Nibiru with Colossus really. And also with the Horus, yes, you can go in the rank 8 before, which can negate one time, so okay, maybe that's possible. But I still not believe this is crazy. I can understand if you build a cool Tillerman deck with it, it could be crazy, but still you have more games that you will not play that much as you want to play. But sometimes if it works good, you have crazy boards with it. And maybe there are some cool players which will build crazy decks with it and just overcome the next regions as possible. Yeah, overcome the next events, I should say. That's possible, of course, yeah. In my head, this was just a thing. I still not have a really idea how this decks can look, and I don't want to waste a lot of time to just build this deck now, because there are more players which know, okay, and have more time than me, so that they can build crazy decks with it, and yeah, maybe I can just get some ideas from them. Okay, then of course the Snake Eye. I don't want to waste a lot of time to talk about Snake Eye. We have still Fire King Snake Eye, we have still a Snake Eye with other things, with just Castria, with Bishes, as I said in the last video. Maybe we will find some other things as well. And yeah, Snake Eye is still T0, I guess. Okay, for the next thing in my list, this is Chicken Game. This is also relevant for the Snake Eye, but also relevant for other decks as well, maybe with Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon can pop any field spell, you can add Chicken Game, you draw a card for free then, and then you can just send Chicken Game from the field zone with any card to have any effect. I don't know what we want to do with it really. Maybe you can send it for Sinful Spoil, as I said. Maybe we can send it in the Dragon Link for other things. Yeah, we will see it, but I don't think that is so important. I know for the Snake Eye deck this card is not bad, but for other deck I'm not sure if it is so relevant. And just draw one card, yeah, okay, that's fine. Just draw 1 for 1, that's fine, really. Then the Kashtira cards here is also a thing which is just standalone, but also could be a good engine still for the Snake Eye deck. This is the only reason why I put it here. I guess Kashtira is still good alone, but you can also run it with the Snake Eye. You will see it in the future. I'm not sure. I guess if you play it alone, it's not so strong that you can win tournaments. You can top tournaments of it 100% because Shifter is still a thing, and you have still a lot of hand traps, and you can also play a lot of board breaker. But one important thing, if we switch back to the board breaker things, then Kashtira is also a little bit worse, because the board breaker is so strong against this deck. You still have no Omni Negates, and I know there are not so many Omni Negates left, and most of the time the end board is not so strong, and then Talent is crazy against Kashtira, so this is one important thing to say. Then we go to Anti-Spell, just a few words. There's one more Floodgate. Now, I guess we have the most Floodgates down to 1, which is really good, except Skillwin. But Skillwin, in my head, is just a card. Okay, it's still strong, but you can still work and play without Skill Drain, or play around Skill Drain, I should more say. With Dracos, I can also a lot of other cards to just pop it down, and then the Skill Drain not so strong anymore. And just in my head with Skill Drain, I have to add, of course, 2 more cards to the list, which is also important to know. This is kind of Labyrinth. Labyrinth is also good. They don't touch any card on Labyrinth, and I still think that Labyrinth is really good, because it works also really good against the thing that your opponent play Nibiru. And Nibiru is not so strong against this deck, and maybe you can play something like the just the Unchained deck with the Labyrinth combo, so that you build crazy boards with so that you build just one sort of Rage with the trap, which is good, and then have a good utility. And just you don't lose against the board breakers really, and you also do not lose against the hand traps really, except of Ash and Bell, but you still have rollback and also maybe this deck is also a good option. It's a viable option as well. I guess it's tier 1, tier 1 5 or tier 1. That's good as well. Okay. Sorry. Then we have Delicious. Delicious is also really important for the Poolie. I guess Poolie will get one more Delicious now. It's not so bad. I guess it's really good for Kang, so he can still play more Poolies. And maybe I just want to play one tournament with Poolie as well. I like this deck and I just have fun with this deck. And maybe I just want to play it again. But yeah, I don't think that Poolie is so relevant. It gets some cool reprints in the new in the new 25th anniversary collection, so that you get on all cards really, so that you will not have any issues to get on these cards, and that's really good as well. And that's a kind of a thing which is relevant to play this deck. This could be also a tier 1 or tier 1/5 deck, because Noah's still a thing, and this is the reason why I put this card here. So I guess if a few players will play Poolie, you have to play Goddess in your extra deck, and maybe if you play Thrust, you have to go to Herald back, so that you can just pop the Noah. But yeah, we will see in the future. I believe Poolie will still have a chance in the format. So then we go to Armageddonite. Armageddonite is going to 2, and also Malicious is going to, Malicious go to 3. Just Armageddonite is important to go to 2, and Delicious was also going to 2. Armageddonite going to 2 will just help a little bit these kind of things here, that you have maybe cool things with the Thunder Dragons, maybe cool things with the Telements, maybe something with Orcust Harp Horror, also with the Orcust card, maybe there's something which you can build really. I'm still not sure really about it, but maybe you can build some crazy thing about it. I don't know, we will see in the future of course, but I guess that's an option. And yeah, I don't want to talk much about that because I did not test it really, so I don't know how strong it will in the end, but I guess it's still a good idea to go to this route. Okay, then we go to the Malicious. This is also another extender for the Telement things, so the Telement can build crazy boards with it, but still will lose against Nibiru, Dark Ruler, Droplet, Airshifter, also things. And Malicious just help you to make your end board even stronger, but I don't believe it is so important. Yeah. And also Harp Horror is maybe relevant for some Orcus lines, not for some Orcus lines, for some Runic lines, for some crazy Telement Orcus crazy decks. I don't know if that is possible, but in my head there are cool things at the moment, so that you can build crazy boards with it, but I still do not think it is the end of the world and it's not so strong anymore. Maybe Orcus will just help, but I don't know how strong it is. Okay. And then the last card, which is going to 3, is just Engage. I guess this is helpful just for playing more engines, so that you can play a Sky Striker engine. Maybe you can build a Snake Eye going second deck with Sky Striker engine. That's really cool as well. Maybe you can build other decks with the Sky Striker engines and just help it out a little bit. Maybe some Runic things. I don't know really. We will see in the future. I don't have too much to say about Engage. I like Engage, but also I hate it. Because it's a cool feeling if you activate Engage, it's a card and draw a card, but also it's not the best feeling if your opponent do that to you. So even if you have more than one Engage as well, because this card is great and not once per turn. Okay, just go back to this list. I guess it is still kind of weird, but I just want to sort it now so that you can understand really what I mean. We talk a lot about the most cards here. Just say a little bit about Tempai. I guess Tempai is important for Nationals a little bit. It's not so crazy because they are just missing a lot of cards. This is just a picture it's showing for Tempai. I guess Tempai will be a tier 2 deck for the nationals, maybe a tier 1-5 deck, but I still think it will not win against the Snake Eye decks, and also I guess it will not win against the most tier elements and also other decks you can play. So I don't believe this deck is strong enough, but it's still possible. And also, if you keep in mind that Tempai have not a really first turn, it could be also lose against Labyrinth, yeah, because the traps are really good from Labyrinth and just destroy the whole plan, I guess, of Tempai, because Tempai will play in the battlefield of the opponents, really, or just build something like this, but then you have the Rumor Cannon and maybe other traps, and also you can interact with them and just, bounce back the monster, just destroy it with the big lady, and in the end, I believe that Labyrinth is still strong. And I believe Labyrinth is a really good contender for the next format, I should say that. Because you can play so many things in it to just give you a really good win at the next tournament, or just give you a really good win rate. I guess still Snake Eye is a little bit better, but in the end, we will see. I just, to just sort my ideas now, I just sort the list. Also, I have to talk, before we go to that, about the Runic Stun. Runic Stun I don't want to talk a lot about because I don't like this deck really. And also I guess if we have more decks like Labyrinth in the format, like tier 11s and also Snake Eye, so that we have 3 or 4 or 5 decks which are really strong and maybe just go hand in hand in the format. So I guess Stun is gone. Really, Stun is gone then. Yeah. Runic with Visions could be really good as well if we lose a lot of fire. So Runic with Visions or a Sprite could be cool as well. There's options as well. Also if Labyrinth go a little bit stronger, because Runic is a really good counter to Labyrinth. So we will see, but this is also important to know. And then we have also Voiceless Voice. This deck do not lose anything, or did not lose anything. So this deck is still strong. I believe this deck will still is a part of the future tier sane, so that you will have it at tier 1 or tier 1-5, and it can still win tournaments and just go crazy. So just I want to make now, because we talk about all cards here, just a small direction with I believe is the way to go in the next format. And I start, of course, with the Snake Eye. I put this over here. Okay. I put this guy here. So I start with Snake Eye with Fire Kings, maybe with Kashtira, with other engines. This Flamework stays for everything, which is with Snake Eye. Then I believe we have Telements there. Okay, I have to put something. Yeah. Okay, we have to change that. My bad. Flamborg. Okay. I have to put it like here. Like this line. Okay. So to understand, I guess Snake Eye is really strong, is tier 0 or tier 0.5. And then we have decks like Telements, we have decks like Labyrinth, we have something with Thunderwings maybe, but also it could be also Telements. We have Kashtira, we have Voiceless, we have Puli, we have Runic, we have maybe Tenpai, but I guess that's it. And a small engine card. So that could be, that could be in the future maybe. Of course here, the decks here in this list until Tenpai, or before Tenpai. This kind of decks here are not sorted really. So maybe this, I guess, it's hard to describe it really. I guess Snake Eye is the deck which is a little bit better, just a little bit better, have maybe 10 or 20% more win rates. That sounds enough. That sounds a lot. Okay, maybe a little bit more. I can't really describe it. Maybe if you think on 10 games, it will win. 1 or 2 games more than the other decks, then you have the 10 or 20%. Okay, yes. But in the end, I guess you understand what I mean. So it has a little bit ahead, and it's a little bit stronger than the other decks in the end. So that, yeah, you can just win or just top a little bit more, but it will get more counter plays, because if this deck is in this radar, you will also lose against more counter cards, because your side deck, or the most side decks of the most players, were prepared for it. So maybe this is yeah, just targeted, and so the other decks could also come in clutch. I believe that Labyrinth is the next best deck. I have to say that, because Labyrinth is really strong, still do not lose anything, and it's still, yeah, it's still crazy which this deck can do, and it's still scary. The only thing which Labyrinth has as a problem is that it can brick sometimes, or just build not that strong at boards as you need for it, but I believe Labyrinth is still a good option. Then I believe we have there just Voiceless Voice Pulley. So it's at the same point, and also maybe it's also like the same against Labyrinth, I don't know in the end. But yeah, that's an option. And then there is something, we have Telements and maybe with Thunder Dragons, Telements and Thunder Dragons in combination. And then we have Runic, and then we have also maybe Kashtira, Tempai, and all these kind of tier 2 decks. Or these kind of decks. But I believe this, I should say, these 5 contenders here are really strong for nationals and for the next events. These 5 contenders here. I believe still that you are not forced to play Snake Eye anymore to go really that strong at tournaments, to just top and win it maybe. I believe still Snake Eye is the best deck, but you still can counter it really good with the other decks now. And maybe there is a time for shining more Labyrinth, shining more Pulley anymore. Maybe we are going back to a little bit more variation, so that we have 5 really strong decks in the format. Of course, Snake Eye is still a bit ahead, but only a few %, so that you can still run the other decks and still have a really good feeling and a cool tournament experience. And maybe that's cool. I'm still not sure that is the 100% way, but as my first impression, I should say that. In my first impressions, I guess this is the way we have to go. Snake Eye, yes, and then some other decks like Labyrinth, Voices, and also the names I called now. And we have a cool variant of the formats. Maybe that's possible here. I'm not sure it will come like this. Maybe Snake Eye is still too strong and do not lose as strong against the counter guys, because they have still crossout and also on. But I believe that could be happen. So what do you think, guys? What is your impression? What your ideas do you have? So what do you say about these kind of things? What do you think? Which decks are the best decks for the next format? Is this only Snake Eye? Or do you think, okay, as I said, we have also other decks in the format which are really strong as well. And so we can shake up the format a little bit and make a discussion right down below. And also, of course, subscribe to the channel, just like the video, and also look to the other video which I talk a little bit more about Snake Eye and Kashtira Snake Eye, and also the first impressions of my head to going for Snake Eye in the future. And I see you in the next videos, so in the upcoming days, I believe, or upcoming weeks, I should say a little bit better, because I'm a little bit busy the next week. But maybe we can make some more videos and just some more content for the new bandit list. This is one thing what I was also waiting for. I just do not start really with content in the fire format, because I was really fast bored about it, and yeah, when I bought about it, I can't make really good videos, and I don't like to talk a lot of rogue or anything like this, because I don't play this really, so I can't give you right information about it. And yeah, this was the thing, because I was a little bit off, but now I'm back. I will tell to you something about the new things, and we will test also some decks in the future, and maybe we'll find some cool things which is going on for the nationals. The nationals is only yeah, 6 or 8 weeks away, so it's not so far away. And yeah, we will see. It's just 8 weeks. Okay, so see you in the next videos and have a nice week. We will hear us. Bye bye.